Okay, so this is a serious topic that I want to talk about. There are loads of people who do claim to be like possessed by demons or claim to have seen um, dolls that come to life, or believe that there are physical beings and stuff. There are a lot of things that I don't know. Hypnotism. Can you hypnotize someone to reveal things that they did in their past life? That is something that I would absolutely love to know. And when I see TV shows that look at hypnotism, I haven't seen that many, but I have seen a couple of shows. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, I don't watch. I haven't seen that many hypnotism films, but I have, or shows, but I have seen stuff where they hypnotize people and get them to act like animals and stuff like this. I would love to be in one of this, because I don't know if it's true or not. I can't say it's not, and it can't say it is. I don't understand technology. I don't understand how ChatGPT works, and I know you shouldn't insult something unless you've actually had proof that it's not work. Now, when it comes to Satan, Lucifer, Abraham as well, and Moses, I've got evidence and proof that I inspired these books, that I am God, and God has deliberately created these fictional characters just to see the difference on earth between those who believe these fictional characters are real and are happy to say, oh, Abraham, or I saw Abraham in a dream, or Jesus spoke to me about something Abraham said. Sorry, this keeps freezing up. Jesus said, I don't know if you heard that. They say that Jesus said this about all these different characters, and I think they're all fictional. And I think the purpose behind these fictional characters is so that when the truth is exposed on Judgment Day, when people see me and they believe that I'm Christ, they will know that all these characters are actually fictional. Hence, anyone that goes around saying that they've got a message from Abraham, or God did this to Jonah, therefore it means this. I mean, the Bible is full of this, and it's not the truth, because I am God. There's lots of evidence that I'm God, and none of this happened. And so if people in the New Testament are saying that things in the Old Testament did happen, well, they obviously don't know what happened, because that didn't happen. These are not real characters, hence it's not possible to be from the line of Abraham and stuff. And um, that's a good way. The best way to work out who's serving God and who's not is by listening to what they say and saying, are they calling God a he or a she? That is the best way. I would say that the main reason why the he God, the one and all he God, was formed, it was because of men's need to rule and dominate. But at the same time, if God would have, I don't know, just punished them so much so that they were forced to believe in a she God, then if I came down claiming to be a she god, then it would be quite difficult to know the difference between those who do actually know the truth about God versus those who are just lying and just making things up, because they don't know, and they are just trying to convince people that they're right. But by having, the he and she God, people who talk about the he god clearly just don't know what they're talking about, and people don't talk about the she god. That's the thing. And so, but yeah, in that same way, it would be amazing if people could start faking demon possessions, because there's so many people who start faking truth about Christ and truth about God, and they've hurt the world badly because people believe it, and then they've fallen for lies, they've fallen for deception, they've fallen for Satan's lies, the Antichrist lies, and yet they wouldn't be able to tell these people that they're doing this, because they'll just be like, oh no, you don't believe the same thing as me, hence you're the one who's fallen, and then you've just got a big argument. And people who claim to be talking for God when they're not talking for God, they've caused so much damage. But at the same time, there is good to damage. I'm not insulting the line of Judah channel, because people need to leave, and then there's other channels that there's a reason for it. But yeah, I would love though for people to just make up false possessions, and then start talking about how that they work for Lucifer or they work for Satan. And devil is a sort of a name that you probably shouldn't mention, because I do want to promote that the devil is real, but I would say that the devil is God, and therefore if someone's saying they've got a message from the devil, it would be confusing to know if it was the truth or not, because I do think that God and the devil are the same thing. So maybe there is some truth behind what they say. But yeah, if someone's claiming to be possessed and claiming also that Satan and Abraham and Moses and Jesus and all these names that aren't blessed, names that I didn't bless, but to the Bible, according to the Bible, God did bless. That it would be really good if people did create false ones. Everyone would know. The smart people would know that these are false claims, false possessions, because Satan isn't real, Jesus isn't real, all these characters aren't real. But yeah, the Christians though, who believe that these characters are real, they'll be freaked out of their mind, because they'll be like, oh my gosh, the demons are coming. That video that I watched last night, where that Walitron guy was saying that these are all the possessions that are happening. I don't know what's happening, but I know there are a lot of mentally ill people. There's probably a lot of people that believe that they are possessed, and really they might just be drunk or something, or just not right in the head, or not thinking properly, or just trying to get attention. People could say, oh, what's he doing this for? You wouldn't just go into court and talk about aliens because you're not making money off it. And it's just like, well, he is trying to make money off it. He's trying to make money to get funding to find the evidence to prove that the government are hiding things. So he is trying to make money from it, even though you might not see that at first. But the people are trying to make money off things, and so even if it's not about money, it's about self-satisfaction of, I have this belief that Jesus is real. I have this belief that demons are real, and I am going to fake a demon possession. Why? Because I want people to believe that my belief is the truth, and it's not about money. It's just about you being an idiot, basically. And there's so many idiots here that do this, and I just think, wouldn't it be best to punish the idiots by deliberately faking all these alien encounters, or just things that people want to believe but can't possibly be true. I wouldn't do it with hypnotism though. But the thing is though, I think if I was to be hypnotized, and if there's some sort of film, I believe that I'll know the truth. I would know if I'm just making things up. I would know if there's something, if I'm hypnotized and I start talking about how I was Cleopatra in my past life. I know that that's not the truth, but I know I wouldn't say it, and therefore, if I do say it, it would make me question everything, and I'll just be like, well, that's not the truth. I don't think that's the truth. And has someone influenced me, or is hypnotism real, and you just convince me to say something that I don't agree with, but I don't even know what hypnotism is. I've never been hypnotized. Actually, I once was hypnotized because it was a free hypnotism thing that I got, and I can't even remember what I used it for. I really can't. It was something. I had a mild obsession problem, and I was trying to be not obsessed with something. I can't remember what it was, but I know that you could have used it for like not smoking or enough. But yeah, it was just talking, and I didn't get anything from it. Actually, I think it was actually past life. I think I went there. Actually, it was past life. That's only because I got this free hypnotism thing where we could go, and they'll talk to you and try and work out something. And I said I wanted to know about my past life, and I think she basically just said, we're probably not going to get that deep. Um, and then I don't know, maybe to heal my dyslexia, that probably been the second thing that I would have, can we try and make my dyslexia less bad? And I don't think I benefit anything. And I think she just said, oh, you need to have more sessions. But yeah, I'm interested about hypnotism. So I don't like seeing people lie about pretending to be a chicken because they're hypnotized, because maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I don't know. I know there are some shows. There was a Sally Morgan psychic show that I did, and I do think that a lot of this is all fake. I feel like they know the people that they choose. So it's a show, and I take it as entertainment value. So I'm not bothered or upset about it. But at the same time, I am interested about past lives, and I would love to know if it's possible to hypnotize someone to reveal a past life. And I don't know is the answer. So I don't want people to start lying about things that I myself do not know. But when it comes to alien beings, I do not believe that they've come here. When it comes to Satan and all the biblical characters, I do not believe that they are real. In the garden, the serpent said to Adam and Eve, did God really tell you that? And I think really this is actually just God saying to the book, to the story, in the story, just saying in the story to the fictional characters, to the reader, did God really say that? And I think really it's like, well, of course, no, I didn't say any of this shit, but I'm not going to tell you this. Why? Because I need to create a false God, so that when I come and prove that I am God, I can prove that this is all nonsense and that you're believing lies. And And therefore, if there are lots of people pretending to be zombies or pretending to be possessed by Satan or possessed by Babylon or possessed by me, I think that would be really funny if on the moment that I move from UK to America, there'd be lots of fake American zombie things where she's coming, she's coming, she's coming. Like, it's so easy to possess this. And you've got some idiot Christians that watch this thing and be like, this woman's possessed, this man's definitely possessed. And it's just like, anyone can do that. You don't need to be possessed to do that. You just need to have a mind and fake it. Acting is such an easy thing, and singing is such a good. Just because someone can sing amazingly, that doesn't mean that they're possessed by angels or whatever. No, it just means that they can do that. And yeah, there's one demon possession where someone was just literally like this, and this guy was like, look, he's frozen, he's obviously got a demon inside of him. And then he opens his mouth, look, the demon's coming out, you could see it, and then he says it in other parts that he could feel the demon coming out of him, and you look at the video, it's just like, I just see a guy opening his mouth. I don't see any. It's so easy to know if something's easy to tell the difference between whether it's fake or not. It's fun to fake demon possession or fake alien encounters or fake Bigfoot. That I think that was a fake thing too. Yeah, I definitely think it was a fake thing. I just had a vision of it being fake, but I don't know. I don't know is the answer, but um, I just think it'd be quite funny doing that. But you shouldn't mess around when it comes to the other realm and heaven, because I don't really know. I feel like I can go into this trance where I just see this white light and it's just full of love, and I think that is the foundation. Some people say that God is love, and then I think, how does an atom hold? Well, how does a atom hold together? And it's almost like the neutron and proton love each other. So I feel like it is love. But yeah, this isn't God's love. This is just the universal's program of keeping things together through some sort of passion. But yeah, I don't understand that. I understand. So there was a conversation about consciousness the other day, and technically, my consciousness is only of my life mixed with subconscious of my past life and subconscious of the past life before that. So that's 3 lives, and that this forms my current consciousness. But yeah, I feel like there is a deeper consciousness that's much higher, and something that I've actually been detached from, and I'm going to stay detached from until I reattach with that, and are able to move on to a different timeline. But yeah, my friend, when we were looking through GPT, he was saying how to understand someone's consciousness. That was one of the questions that he was talking about. But yeah, I think technically the consciousness has actually been formed through the memory of my current life and the subconscious of my of the other lives, and this forms me. Hence why the more lives I have, the more evolved I would be, and the more I change. And the same with everyone. The more lives you have, even though you don't remember it, your subconscious remembers it, and it builds up a bigger subconscious. Now, when it comes to God, I feel like she's done this. She's gone through the whole process, and she's done it probably 70 times, and maybe even more. I mean, if it's different planets, and it could be a timeline here, a timeline there. I think I would definitely avoid being physical as much as possible. Why? Because I love the idea of going to Madame Tussauds. They had this really good dungeon thing in Madame Tussauds, but it's actually gone now, and it's completely different now. And it's like, oh, I want to see that how it was 10 years ago or something. And then it just makes me feel like I want to kill myself, go back to that time, and then I want to try zooming forward 5 years, and another 5 years, and then another 5 years, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what it'll be like in 50 years, I wonder what it'll be like 100 years time. And then I could just go through the whole of it, and then I just want to do the same with all that, and with all the other Madame Tussauds or theme parks or zoos, just see how the whole world changes. And that's kind of what I would see it. But I feel like to get to that consciousness, I have to reattach with that consciousness, and that is it's quite a complex thought, because it means getting bigger and bigger, but it's like I've shrunk myself down, and I feel like in the same way humans can get that level of consciousness, but it just takes time. And a hex, I would say there's a hex around. So here's the sun and all the planets, and I think actually there was actually one that was a bit further than Pluto, which has only just been discovered. But I don't know if they called it a planet because they said it had to be a certain size for it to be a planet. So I don't actually know if there was one a little bit further, which is much further. But I don't know. There's some sort of hex around the sun, which is like a net that stops souls from coming in or out. So if people do start saying that demons can come from other realms through through the light or whatever, I don't think that's the truth. Every parent wants to protect their kids, and if there is going to be souls from another dimension coming into this dimension, one, they're going to have to be very, very intelligent to do that. And if they are going to be very, very intelligent to do that, they are not going to want to be born in Earth, or they probably wouldn't want to waste their time, I don't know, talking to little ant people, getting them to say strange things. I mean, I just, that as you get older, you see the bigger picture, and you want to do things and you want to entertain yourself, but at the same time, what people are saying, some people are talking about like being possessed by like demons from another realm or whatever, and I just feel like, why would they do that? Like, I wouldn't want to go to another planet and um, possess one of the ant-like creatures there, and I don't know, get them to do things like I mean, they'll be doing it without me. I don't mind sitting back watching, being like, he's pretending to be possessed by a demon and all these people are believing him. But yeah, I wouldn't actually feel right about entering into that person and doing that. Why? Because I'm pretty sure that if it's a planet like this one, there's going to be plenty of people that'll be willing to do it without my interference, without my help. And and it's funny, just it's actually more funnier knowing that it's just someone pretending that there's a demon inside of them, while seeing millions of people being like, oh my god, they're possessed by Satan, blah, blah, blah. It's more funny knowing that it's all fake. If you've actually gone in there and made that happen, maybe it happened once or twice just to inspire other people to do things like this. I love films, and if I can get there to be films about a possessed doll or something, maybe I would. Like, I swear once when I was a child, I was looking through a mirror, and there was this teddy bear, and it just lifted its head up and went down again. I swear I saw that, and that was freaking creepy. But yeah, now that I know that I'm God, it could have just been my higher self just kind of going like that. And yeah, it would have been such a small thing, but it freaked me out. And if they did that to someone knowing that they were going to like write a doll story about it, I love films, and so if I can move the arm of a doll or something, as a ghost, and then use that, and that person, knowing that person will probably freak out and start believing that this doll's alive, and then go on to tell filmmakers, and the filmmakers go on to write the Annabelle Dolly film or whatever. There is a lot of stuff that I would want to do to inspire films, and the purpose of it isn't because the doll is possessed. It isn't actually to scare the people, although that might be a little bit funny. It's actually for the films. I love Buffy, and getting Jesus to be like, yes, you are possessed, and I'm going to take the demons out of you. If saying something so small like that is going to end up inspiring things like the whole Buffy episodes and lots of demon films, and also scare people into not doing the wrong thing, because these demons might kill you. It's a small thing, but small things when you're a god do have big consequences, because it affects the whole timeline, and it affects it in good and bad ways. The bad is that some people might generally believe that they're possessed by Satan and start going mad over it, and some people might just be like, you know what, I'm just going to write Buffy, and then it's just like, yay. But yeah, there's mad people are always going to exist. But yeah, I would love to know. I would love to freak the people out who lie about things like this, and you can tell if someone's lying or not by if they're what name they're using. I did not bless the name of Abraham, and if a demon is saying the name of Abraham and talking like he's a real person, then you know it's fake, and it's important that the truth is exposed. But I am exposing the truth now, whether people believe it or not. Now, that's up to them if they don't want to believe it, and if they do want to believe that all these people talking about Satan are generally possessed by Satan, well, then they can believe it, but they're going to go mad over it, and I'm probably going to be sitting back eating popcorn laughing at it, and you can laugh at it too.